how do we connect the dots when our partner doesn't spell it out?
Let's talk about love and marriage, the way that God intended. Life experience, here we share it. The No Fruit Podcast. Tune in from any platform. No Fruit Podcast. Will help your spirit transform.
So, Kafi and I are having this banter kind of back and forth, telling you how we kind of live, but we're also talking to one another. And so one of the things that in her last message to me was just being subtle, being direct versus being subtle in actions and words and whatever it is. And a lot of times I don't know which way to go because she doesn't spell it out all the way for me. And so if you listen to her talk about, hey, this is something that she would like for, as a gift, whether it's Christmas, birthday, whatever, whatever happens, even just, as she also said on me, it could just be like, hey, today is Sunday at 3:30. Hey, here's a gift, mindset, but there's a lot of times where she doesn't do that because she know I might run out and go get it or do this, that, and the other. And so sometimes that's a good thing, it's a bad thing. But I know for myself, I do those type of things because I'm trying to find out what makes her tick a little bit, what makes her smile, what makes her laugh, what makes her feel giddy and warm inside. And so I like it to some degree. That's my form of the chase. I think her quietness and her chill back moment is almost like, hey, hey, baby, won't you continue to chase me? And so I try to keep that energy up a little bit. Now, can it be a little challenging at times where she's not doing that, where she's not being direct? Yes, because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure if I could deal with a young lady that would be direct 100% of the time because I know my energy, it doesn't deal with that very well. It really doesn't. And I guess maybe because especially right now, Kafi and I have been together for so long, I'm just so used to her chill mentality that anything else seems really, really like, so, but it also makes me, because she is quiet and laid back in that, I find the importance of continually putting in effort to make sure that I am what I need to do, what I need to be, and how I need to respond and act. So there's a lot of effort that needs to go into that. Also, it builds up curiosity because now it's like, all right, as I stated, how can I make her smile today? What could be a little bit different? What could be, whatever it might be, and so I think those are the type of things that we need to constantly do in a relationship. Again, if you listen to some of the other episodes where we talk about routine and how it really destroys relationships, routine really destroys it. And so because now you're not putting in the effort, oh, wow, you know what? We're just going to, do whatever. Because like if you listen to Kafa, something that was really subtle that she said, a couple episodes ago about just her challenging herself on how to fry the chicken, right? Some days that she says sometimes she forgets she has, moment amnesia, on how to fry the chicken. But then there's other times where she says she might challenge herself in doing it. And so how do you continually to do that in your relationship? Showing up in the moment, because routine, oh, wow, you could forget. But what happens when you are in that moment and you are really putting forth the effort to become better, when you're really putting forth the effort to pay attention, when you're putting forth the effort to now making sure that whatever is the next step, it is the best thing that can happen. And so you listen to us talk about our trip to Puerto Rico. Even a year or two ago, you listen to us talk about our trip to Rehoboth Beach or AC or whatever it is, like these little quick moments where it's like it broke the routine. And so it allowed us to get into another place. And so because we did these things on some end relatively spontaneity jumped into that moment, which is what both of us relatively like. Not always 100%, but we relatively like. So I think that's where this stuff really takes place, and it gets us to another level of it's not the same. We feel something different. Look at how you're responding, and we're gonna go back to just that Rehoboth moment. Kafa was so anxious, so concerned whether or not I would like that trip. And so without her explaining to me how she was truly feeling, I can actually see in her actions. So at that particular time, I was paying attention to her social cues or clues that she was a little on edge. And so she needed to see how I was going to respond. And if I responded negatively, would she have shut down? If I would have responded inappropriately, would she now want to say, you know what, Maurice, I ain't doing nothing for you ever again in my life? It's not worth it. It's not worth my time or energy. Now, that would have been a moment for myself where, you know what, my anxiety of, I don't always like surprises. I didn't always like surprises. But in that particular moment, I did. I was okay. We enjoyed it. She said, just drive or whatever. She's like, I'm not sure if you're going to just do that. Well, I did. We did that. We drove. We had fun. I enjoyed myself. I expressed to her, it's probably one of the best trips ever in my life. Now, there has been some trips since then that's been the best trip ever, you know. But I think those type of things, when you start to see yourself outside of what your regular box is, now you get to see another side of not just yourself, but you also get to see another side of your partner. And in seeing those things, because her desire is to travel. Her desire is to have fun. Her desire is to smile more and to be more relaxed. Well, Maurice, what is that you need to do in order for her to get to that point? So even when she is spelling it out, are you able to actually respond to it? And those are the type of things that we all need to understand, that even if we're hearing the spell out, but are we able to take the time? Are we able to take the effort and the energy to make sure that, you know what, let's make this thing happen? Are we taking in the clues that she's giving? The desire, her needs, her emotions are all important for me. And I need to make sure that she is well balanced throughout this whole process. Just one little thing, as we're getting older, you know, we're seeing changes in the body and emotions and whatever it might be. And so you just want to make sure that all things, you know, as many things as can be, not all, but as many things that can be taken care of, nurtured, loved, paid attention to, or whatever it is, will help you in your everyday movement and whatever you're trying to accomplish or whatever it is. So right now, one of the things that we've learned is not to take on everybody else's energy, not to take on everybody else's, you know, negative vibes. And so now our life I know for myself, feels a lot lighter. So, and then with that, because I'm lighter, I get to see her relax on the couch. Oh, Kafa, guess what? You know what? It's when, you know, you're looking at making dinner doesn't have to be so complex where you have to make beef Wellington and string beans a la almond, whatever, you know, whatever that might be. It doesn't have to be so complex. Just give me some buttered noodles. And she's like, really? You know, I'm like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be so deep. Now, sometimes you want to be a little dressy, right? But also I have to look at her and say, and see what mode she's in, what vibe she's in. And so, because it's already not so deep for me, don't put so much pressure on her. Read the language, understand what's going on. Even if she's not spelling it out, like Maurice, I'm just not feeling it today. And the last couple weeks, some of the things that she's been going through, there's a lot on her plate that she's been concerned about. And understand, like, hey, even though she wants to make sure that her husband and her children are okay, the thing that I can do and the energy and effort that I could put into is like, listen, this stuff is not that deep. Don't worry about it like that. Like, it's not that pressing. And so we need to understand what happens when the clues lead us to an unexpected place. Because in that unexpected place, are we actually going to find even more happiness than we ever thought we could achieve? So I want y'all to think about that. What happens when the clues, that those little breadcrumbs that are placed out there, lead us to an unexpected place? I'll talk to you a little bit later.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the No Fruit Podcast, where we bring you fruitful conversations, ripened wisdom, and love that's deeply rooted. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with someone who could use a little inspiration in their day. Until next time, stay rooted in love, and remember, every seed you plant today shapes the fruit of tomorrow.